I've been thinking about myself today, thinking how I changed, how I really don't care if...
Hi, I'm Ken Vendel. You may remember me from the popular TV series Walker, Texas Ranger, where I played the stump double for Chuck Norris's left leg. Subtators, Ken Vendel here with another great episode. Now today I decided to deviate from all normalities, and I'm going to take you back.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
We're not that far back. But I decided today I'm going to go back to where it all began. I'm talking about shortly after I got the bug. Now when I first started shooting, I, like everybody else, got the bug, and I was buying every frame that I saw on Amazon or anywhere. In fact, it wasn't long before I had compiled a mountain of frames. But among the mountain of frames, there were a couple frames that kind of rose to the top. You know, like when you fart in bathwater. And that's what I want to talk about today, my top 3 most memorable frames when I got started. In no particular order. All right, the first frame that is one of the most memorable frames for me is none other than the Axiom Ocularis by SimpleShot. Now this is the frame that really changed everything for me. In fact, this is the frame that got me started with SimpleShot. When I got this one, I was so excited. When I got this frame, I was super excited about it, and I shot it for a little bit, and then I made a video. Now, at the time, I was not affiliated with SimpleShot, but it was this frame and the video of this frame that got me started. So I have this frame to thank for that relationship. Now, what was so awesome about the Ocularis was the plug system. This was the first frame that I ever seen anything like this. Not only that, I like the versatility of this thing. I mean, it shoots over the top or through the forks. But one of the cool things about the Ocularis, and it's still true today, is that it's the only frame on the market that you could dial in. You look at these round tips, you can actually customize the configuration of the band. And that is awesome. There's no other frame out there that offers that. But in the beginning, this is definitely one of my most memorable slingshots that I still shoot today. All right, I'm going to pop a couple shots with my Axiom. I really love this Axiom Ocularis, and a lot of times I can get on target pretty quick. We'll see if it works today. It probably won't since I've said that, but here we go. I'm going to shoot at the blue bottle up top. That's why I like this thing. It is a fine, fine shooting frame. Fine shooting frame. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna go for the orange one right beside it. Right beside it. Oh, good Lord, I almost hit it. Good God. Almost counts in horseshoes and nuclear warfare. All right, the orange bottle. Got it. And another very memorable frame I remember in the beginning was none other than the Hornet by Zachary Fowler. For those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know how I feel about pocketable slingshots. I oftentimes talk about that. Now, what I mean by pocketable is that there's a certain criteria that I've set for myself that would categorize certain frames as pocketable. For instance, it has to be like lightweight, it can't be really huge, and it's got to have a thin profile, and there's some other criteria, but this frame here, the Hornet, fit my pocketable criteria to the T. In fact, today, this is still among one of my favorite pocketable slingshots of all time. Now, when I first got into slingshots, I, like most people, we have our influences. And Zachary Fowler was one of my biggest influences in the beginning, and still today. What's ironic is about a year ago, I was talking to this guy online. I'd never met him, and I mean, he thought I was Zachary Fowler. He started asking me questions about season 3 of Alone. Now, seeing there was a definite case of mistaken identity, I did what any other trustworthy enthusiast would have done. And I played alone.
What?
In fact, I told him I never would have won season 3 of Alone if I hadn't snuck those toaster strudels in. But then I told him I was kidding. But it was fun to be a rock star for a couple minutes. But yeah, definitely, this Hornet is one of my most memorable frames when I first started. And it still is today. All right, let's see about the Hornet. I'm really hit and miss with this one. I've had a lot of fun with it, but there's some days I can drill with this thing. There's other days, not so much. Let's see what today is. All right, here we go. Let me see what this thing's hitting first. I'm gonna go for the target right dead center. Right dead center, the flipper. Can you see it? All right, let me back up. Ready? Oh, this is gonna be high. Yeah, I shot a little high. I knew it was gonna happen though. See if I can bring it down. Here we go. Flipper in the middle. Oh, still high. Is that a squirrel? You know, squirrel, they'll come out when I can't hunt them. I mean, they'll sit on this bench. But let it be hunt season. They know. All right, here we go. Flipper in the middle. Telling you, this is a fine shooting frame. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And my final frame that was most memorable in the beginning, another frame inspired by Zachary Fowler, and it's none other than the Sparrow. When the Sparrow come out, I just had to get it because this again was another frame inspired by one of my inspirations, Zachary Fowler. What stuck out about the Sparrow and made it one of my most memorable frames was the fact that, let me see how I can word this. This was the first production frame that shot and held like a natural. You see, the actual inspiration for this frame was a natural that Zachary Fowler had made. And then he partnered with Simple Shot, and now we've got the Sparrow, made after that frame. I mean, this grip is sensational. It's like it's made for my hand. I mean, it just falls right into place. I love it. What's cool about this frame, you can get this next to nothing. It's one of the best bargains out there. I mean, I've given away more Sparrow slingshots than any other frame. So by far, this Sparrow is definitely one of my most memorable frames. All right, and finally, we're going to shoot the Sparrow. Now, this one's got some thoroughbred gold on it. It's cut to, I think it's a 12 to 20. It's pretty stiff, especially for 8mm steel, which I'm shooting today. But I'll just have to aim lower. So the first shot's probably going to be high. We'll see. All right, here we go. I'm going to go for the can. I made the adjustment right. God, there's nothing like shooting a can. Out of all the targets, a can is my absolute favorite. I love the sound it makes. See if I can do it again. Oh, God, itch. All right, here we go. Oh, just did miss it. I think my backdrop's slipping back there too. Fix it later. All right, one more shot around the can. This is the one. I love this frame. Taters, it's been an absolute joy sort of going down memory lane with these awesome frames. And again, these are frames that I still shoot today. In fact, this is the my mooch bag. Well, it's my current one. And all three of these frames were inside here, and that's where they stay most of the time. These are the frames that I like to shoot when I'm just out mooching. And every once in a while, I'll switch up. But for the most part, if you see this bag, you're probably going to see all, if not one or two of these frames in that bag. Now, I'm sure most of you have got some frames that in the beginning were most memorable. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have got some frames that in the beginning were most memorable for you. In fact, you probably still shoot them today as well. If so, in the comments below, why don't you share that with us? Tell us some of the most memorable frames from the beginning. Well, that's going to about wrap us up here. So until we meet again, be kind to each other, get out there and bust some cans. We'll see you next time. Later, Tater. All right, I got one more shot. And today, I'm going to give Chuck and Steele a run for his money. I'm going to attempt to shoot a can at 15 meters. That's the kind of stuff I'll be doing here. So, I'm going to use the Ocularis. Let's see if I can do it. 15 meters. 15. All right, ready? Here we go. Ooh, I hit it. I hit it. Try that chucking. Just kidding. Chuck and Steele's probably one of the best shooters on the planet. For real. I'm not even in his league. That dude can't miss. I hate him.